Ladies and gentlemen, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of inspiration and realness. Also, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of positivity, personality, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, and now the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Big Beefy E himself from his Big Beefy Man Cave in New Bedford, Massachusetts, Mr. Shenanigans himself, and the two-time Chilling 3000 2022 End of the Year Awards winner, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's episode 510, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be talking about what's going on Monday Night Raw right now. A lot of things are going to go down. We know Trish is going to explain her actions, why she attacked Becky Lynch. We know now that Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar in the arena for waiting on Brock Lesnar to accept the challenge. We got The Miz going one-on-one with Seth Rollins. Bobby Lashley going one-on-one with Austin Theory in the non-title matchup. And right now, coming up next after the break, it will be, this is going to be a David versus Goliath match. It will be Rey Mysterio, the WWE Hall of Famer, 2023, going one-on-one with Solo Sikoa. It started with the Bloodline, about to address Little Rock, Arkansas. Then it morphed into the Judgment Day interrupting the Bloodline. And Paul Heyman explained that there was a deal that went down, an alliance between the Judgment Day and the Bloodline, and which tonight, in a six-man tag team matchup, it will be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the undisputed tag team champions, teaming up with Matt Riddle against the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. As you know, there will be a six-man tag team match happening 2 weeks from Saturday at Backlash. It will be the team of Riddle, Sami Zayn, and Owens, and Kevin Owens versus the Usos and Solo Sikoa. This is gonna be something to be interesting Raw tonight, and I'm really excited about it. So, shout outs to the guys of both of us and the Sofas. They did a wonderful show once again. Check them out on the Mr. Garrison 96 channel. If you have not seen the episode, today, go see it. I recommend it. So, what's coming up next? It will be Rey Mysterio going one-on-one with the enforcer of the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa. If I were Rey, and he didn't come out with the LWO backing him up, they're going to need that backup, because you're talking about a two-pronged attack in the Judgment Day and the Bloodline. That's dangerous. That's a dangerous alliance, to say the least. Ironically, because Paul Heyman just brokered the deal. Wow, walked right into that one, didn't I? So, so it's going to be very interesting to see what develops here. So, I'll be right back, and we'll give you the results of that matchup and whatever follows after that. So, peace out for now. Well, the collision continues between Solo Sikoa and Rey Mysterio. Also, the draft is coming up as well. And we just found out that Becky Lynch will not be on Raw tonight. And it seems like to me, a lot of things have been happening. So there's that. So that's what's going on right now. And Solo Sikoa is dominating the matchup between Rey Mysterio, as is. Will Dominic get involved in the matchup? I don't know. We'll see what happens coming up next. Alright, we got the results of the matchup between Rey Mysterio and Solo Sikoa. The Usos try to get involved in the matchup, but then all of a sudden, here comes the LWO. That would be the Legado del Fantasma team of Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wild, and Cruz del Toro. They got to jump on the Usos. Rey Mysterio tried taking advantage of it. Solo Sikoa keeps on getting up, kicking out, and then all of a sudden, one little mistake by Rey Mysterio, that would be he tried to do a splash. Solo Sikoa moved out of the way, hit the Samoan spike. 1, 2, 3. Solo Sikoa wins on yet another matchup. But then the Bloodline continue their attack on the LWO after the matchup. They've held their end of the bargain, but will the Judgment Day uphold their end of the bargain as they face the undisputed tag team champions, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle tonight in this big six-man tag that would be the main event of Monday Night Raw? over this Cody Rhodes Brock Lesnar situation. Upcoming next, it will be Bianca Belair going against 1/3 of Damage Control. That will be none other than Dakota Kai. As you know, the lovely Io Sky did win her triple threat match with a number one contenders match. Will Bayley's selfishness affect Damage Control? And it seems like to me Becky Lynch was onto something. And I think, I think Io Sky kind of remembered what Becky said and felt in her mind that she wants this opportunity. So, when will this women's title match happen? Well, we will find out. We will find out. Oh, well, but if Dakota Kai picks up a victory over Bianca Belair, she may be the next in line for a title shot as well. Could this end up being a fatal four with all three members of Damage Control facing Bianca Belair? If Bayley gets herself involved in that matchup as well? Who knows for sure what's going to happen, what's going to go down. But right now, though, Io Sky gets the shot against Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. And who knows for sure what is going to happen when, if Dakota Kai ends up picking up the victory over Bianca Belair. I'll give you the results of that matchup and whatever. Oh, before we go on, seems like Adam Pearce is getting annoyed with everything going on. And the latest annoyance is this. It is poor Otis. He's getting fought over by Chad Gable, which Maxine Dupree calls him Chaz, which is pretty funny. And Maxine Dupree wants Otis. So it is an argument between the two. He says he takes everything under advisement. So we'll see what happens. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what happens in this WWE draft coming up in 2 weeks. It will be fairly interesting to say the least. So I'll give you the results of that matchup between the women's matchup between Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's Champ, and Dakota Kai, former Women's Tag Champ. Also, she's also a former NXT Women's Tag Champ as well. We'll see what happens after this commercial break. Well, the matchup between Dakota Kai and Bianca Belair in a non-title matchup. Just a little report from Kevin Patrick that Bianca Belair is only 19 days away from tying and breaking Becky Lynch's record for the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion. Meanwhile, Gunther's surpassed 300 days. He's got to be less than 130 days away. I think 140 days away from breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record as well as the Intercontinental Championship. But we're not talking about Gunther. We're talking about this matchup right now. Notice some superstars have some style of clothing. Like Io Sky, as of late, every time she's not wrestling, she's wearing a shirt that has one like long sleeve, the other short sleeve, which is this looks like it's kind of like the look. I think that's what a lot of the style nowadays. So it's really cool. People have their unique style of clothing. Awesome. Yeah. So right now it is Dakota Kai and Bianca Belair going one-on-one. If Dakota Kai does pick up a victory over Bianca Belair, she may be next in line. So this will be something. Will this be the start of Damage Control splitting up and doing their own thing? Where the draft is coming up as well. So that's a huge deal and a huge moment right there. So we shall see what happens as usual. So this is crazy. Anyway, so I don't like horror movies. As I say, there's a promo in a horror movie I don't like. I'm not a horror movie buff. But we'll see what happens, though, on Monday Night Raw as the match continues between Dakota Kai and the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. Alrighty then, the result of that matchup, Bianca Belair did win, but while Damage Control was retreating the ring, Io Sky went like this, coming after. So I'm hoping the lovely Io Sky gets a chance to win the Raw Women's Championship and ends that reign of Bianca Belair. Meanwhile, Cody Rhodes is heading to the ring, and Cody Rhodes is heading to the ring to get answers from Brock Lesnar. We have yet to hear Seth freaking Rollins going to one-on-one with The Miz. Huge six-man tag as the Undisputed Tag Team Champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn teaming up with Matt Riddle against the Judgment Day. That's Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio with Rhea Ripley in their corner. Meanwhile, we have also Trish Stratus will be explaining her actions against Becky Lynch. We'll see why that is in just we'll see why that is. And Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory one-on-one in a non-title matchup. So with the U.S. champion Austin Theory holding that championship for the time being. So that's what's coming up next. So I'll give you the results of what happened between Cody and Brock, if that's the case, and everything else happening in between. So we'll see you then. Holy Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Cody Rhodes came out and decided to call out Brock Lesnar. Adam Pearce says, I can't let this happen. Please leave the ring. Cody Rhodes about to. He says, forget it. I'm going back in. I want Lesnar. So Adam Pearce says, you don't want to leave? Okay, security, come on out. Security came to the ring. Cody Rhodes about to attack them, and then Brock Lesnar shows up. Cody Rhodes got the security out of the way. He tries going after Brock Lesnar, but then another wave of security comes, tries to stop him. He gets by them, but then another security wave stops them when he got really close. So, and then Adam Pearce says, I'll make the match at Backlash. Can't do anything. So, and then Brock Lesnar starts laughing and wears his cowboy hat and walks away. What a coward. So this will be this will be a very interesting situation to say the least. Up next, a battle of Grand Slam champions. It will be Seth freaking Rollins, going one-on-one with the love child of Fire Marshal Bill from In Living Color and the whammy from Pressure Luck. Yeah, I'm talking about The Miz, who's no longer the chick magnet because he's now got a chick of his own in Maurice. So, we'll see what happens when Seth freaking Rollins goes one-on-one with The Miz. Coming up. All right, the matchup between Brock Lesnar decided to leave the arena, and that match will be, like I said, Lesnar Rhodes will happen at Backlash. Meanwhile, he leaves the arena, and now we have Seth freaking Rollins one-on-one with The Miz. We'll see what kind of matchup this will be. So I'm very interested to see what will happen. I'll give you the results of that matchup. We are going to be hearing from Trish Stratus after she betrayed Becky Lynch last week. We'll find out why. And we'll find out why. We have a 6-man tag match main event still. Judgment Day facing the Undisputed Tag Team Champions Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle. We have yet to have a match with Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory in a non-title matchup with Austin Theory as the United States Champion. So, we got all that and more coming up next, and I'll get you the results of this matchup and everything else happening in between. So we'll be right back. All right, result of that matchup between Seth freaking Rollins and The Miz. Rollins wins the matchup, and Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle. We're talking about their main event match against the Judgment Day and what they're going to do against the Bloodline at Backlash. And then you see Matt Riddle say, "Dude, Solo Sikoa's got the Samoan Spike. I'll tape up my toe and hit him in the jugular with it. Call it the toe, bro." And then Matt Riddle says, "You know what? After all I've been through at the hands of the Bloodline, I'm here to kick some butt tonight, and that's exactly what I'm going to do." He turned all business. So Matt Riddle is morphed into a butt-kicking dude. So kind of like that deal. So now we're going to find out what happens next. We don't know what's going to happen. Well, non-title matchup, United States Champ Theory, Austin Theory going one-on-one with Bobby Lashley. We have yet to hear from WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus on why she betrayed Becky Lynch. And like I said, that 6-man main event. It will be interesting enough to say the least. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So we'll see what happens coming up next. Well, it seems like to me they went over a couple of things too. They went over Bronson Reed had a promo. I forgot to mention that earlier on. Then you got the Trish Becky situation, which Trish will address later tonight on Raw. And now we're about to have a matchup, a non-title matchup between Bobby Lashley and the United States Champion Austin Theory. That is coming up next, and so kind of looking forward to seeing what is going to happen. So we'll see the matchup between Lashley and Theory. Give you the results of that, and anything else has happened coming up next. All right, a lot to dissect here. Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory went one-on-one, but due to Bronson Reed getting involved in the match ends up in a double countout. Other than I would say Theory should have been disqualified and given Lashley the victory, but Bronson Reed wants Bobby Lashley. So it's a Big E special feud they're going to have. I call it a Big E. It was coined by Corey Graves last week because it's big meaty man slapping meat. So that's going to be a feud that's going to happen. And then Trish Stratus did come out, the Hall of Famer, to explain her actions against Becky Lynch, and she said, and she's the one that took Lita out, and she says that she was the one that changed the women's division, and didn't get a thank you from Becky and everything else, and that's why she attacked. I think she's sick and tired of being this nostalgic act. Once again, I think she felt. I think Bubba Ray, aka Bully Ray, said the same thing when him and Devon went heel in the WWE. So I think Legends. I think basically what Becky needs to do is step up to the plate, and I think the Hall of Famer is not there to hold the superstars' hands. They want to elevate the superstars, even if it means turning their backs on the people that love them. That's the way it's going to be, and I have to respect Trish Stratus for that. And so that's going to be Becky Lynch, step up, girl. You need to show them. You need to show her why you say you're the man, and so. Gotta respect that. But now, Captain Kelly interviewed Cody Rhodes and said Cody Rhodes talked about being satisfied with the matchup, but in one universe, I'm not the champion. Is another thing, So this is going to be an interesting matchup, to say an interesting situation. Lesnar, Rhodes going to go at it at Backlash in 3 weeks. That's cool. And then the women's tag team champions Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan showing up. They're going to be watching a women's tag team matchup. Next, more women's action as Candice LeRae and Michin Mia Yim will be teaming up against right now the number one contenders to the women's tag team titles, Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. They will be facing Morgan and Rodriguez coming this Friday night on SmackDown. So this is going to be an interesting feud, to say the least. And I'm going to, like I said, I think I'll go back to the Trish Stratus situation. I think Trish Stratus. Well, she says she's nobody's sidekick, and and she's sick and tired of playing second fiddle. So she did what she did, take out Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus, and Becky Lynch and Lita. So it seems like Trish wants to spotlight again. She needs to remind people of that one. It calls in the Four Horse Ladies, and that's why she referred to the Four Horsewomen, the Four Horse Ladies. So I say this is going to be more of an interesting situation than anything else. So we'll see what happens coming up. This is a dream matchup, though. Trish Stratus, childhood fantasy. Don't worry about it, Trish. I moved on from you, sister. Yeah, because I like Gigi Dolan, Nikita Lyons, and Io Sky. They're my 3 favorites now. But if I'm going to AEW, Hikaru Shida and Toni Storm. Okay, better yet, let's go to Stardom. Mina Shirakawa. That's all you're going to get from me, Trish. So, I used to like you, but not anymore. I moved on from you and went with Lita. Not Lita. Melina. Excuse me. Let's try that again. Okay? Trish Stratus, you don't need to worry about being my childhood fantasy because you made your debut when I was being an adult. So, here's the deal. I moved on from you to Melina, to Mickey James, to AJ Lee, to Asuka, to Becky Lynch, I moved on to Gigi Dolan, Nikita Lyons, Io Sky, Hikaru Shida, Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa. They're my favorite ladies now. Not you, Trish. But you look beautiful, girl. But let me tell you. What's going to happen? Becky Lynch is going to show you why she's the man. You made people step up. Now we're getting ready for that women's tag team matchup coming up next. Well, it seems like to me a lot of craziness has happened. Check this out. Women's tag action. It will be Michin Mia Yim, Candice LeRae taking on the team of Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. During the match, Nikki Cross appeared in the crowd at ringside waving at Candice LeRae. It seems like Nikki Cross wants to join up with Candice LeRae. And, Sonya Deville tried some cheating. That didn't work. Tags in Chelsea Green. Hits Michin with the unprettier. 1, 2, 3. The ladies pick up the victory. Michin, Mia Yim, and Candice LeRae were defeated by Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green, and they decided to approach the tag team champions who were sitting there ringside. But then Chelsea Green grabbed some water, splashed it in the face of Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan tried to go chasing after her. Everybody's trying to hold Liv Morgan back. Raquel Rodriguez says save it for Friday night. So that's where we stand right now. Now up next will be the main event, the 6-man tag team matchup. The undisputed tag team champions, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, teaming up with Matt Riddle, the original Bro, against the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio. I'm sure Rhea Ripley will be in their corner of our Judgment Day brethren. So we shall see what happens in this matchup. And for the conclusion of Monday night, only 10:32. Oh wow, that's quick. So I'm sure a lot of stuff's going down. So let's so let's see what happens coming up next. The main event, that would be the 6-man tag team matchup. It seems like Rick Boogs has been worried about the WWE draft. He didn't want to be split up from Elias, but then they all explained what the draft is all about. And Baron Corbin had to chime in and said all tag teams can be split up. And then they decided to talk to Adam Pearce about it. But then Rick Boogs is like, Rick Boogs feeling sad, but Eli says, hey, don't worry. If I get drafted first, I'll put in a good word for you. That way we can still be together. All of a sudden, Takira Tozawa shows up. No. Rick Boogs, #1 pick, and they're like, yeah, and they were excited. And then Elias goes, last guy picked in the draft. Ha 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 ha. He starts laughing, and then all of a sudden Baron Corbin says, hey, that's funny. And he goes, nobody likes you, nobody wants you because you suck. Like every time I'm like, oh, this is too funny. So, and now the 6-man tag team match about to begin. The Judgment Day just entered first to the ring. I gotta tell you, the Raw is going to get more interesting when the Road to Backlash is still beginning. And also in 2 weeks, you got the draft coming up. Anything is possible there. I know a lot of people have been taking some time off as well. We don't see Becky Lynch. We didn't see Drew McIntyre. We don't see Asuka either. So, although, if all superstars are eligible, NXT be eligible too. I want to see the Brawling Brutes and Gallus in a 6-man tag. What do you guys think? The Brawling Brutes versus Gallus Boys. You got the Gallus Boys from Scotland. You got Sheamus from Ireland. Pete Butch Dunne and Ridge Holland from England. Let's get it on. Let's see Gallus Boys, the Coffee Brothers, Wolfgang, versus the Brawling Brutes. This ought to be interesting. Although, if I want to see somebody drafted from NXT to either Raw or SmackDown, even though she's injured right now, Nikita Lyons, I like to see her end up on SmackDown. I like to see her and Rhea Ripley go one-on-one. I see Gigi Dolan as another member of Judgment Day. If Rhea Ripley needs a partner for Judgment Day, I think her and Gigi Dolan could be quite the team. Well, we shall see. Or JC Jane. Going to be very interesting to see what exactly happens, what the draft will do. You know, you got all the champions. You never know what's going to happen, basically. So, let's see what happens. So, right now, coming up next is the 6-man tag team matchup. The Undisputed Tag Team Champions, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and their partner, Matt Riddle, to team up against the Judgment Day team of Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio, with Rhea Ripley in their corner. Coming up next. Oh yeah, before I continue on, the Usos addressed the LWO and their opponents for Backlash in the main event in the 6-man tag. And that would be Zayn, Owens, and Riddle. We'll see what happens. And Bad Bunny's coming back next week to address what happened to him. And I'm sure he has a lot to say. And he said, Baby and Priest's like, I won't be his friend no more. You became his enemy when you choke slammed him for the table, you dummy. By the way, your Yankees suck, by the way. And there's the Judgment Day Stooges. I'll be back for the conclusion of this video and the matchup. Boy, the Judgment Day's been very vicious in this 6-man tag. Even Rhea Ripley got herself involved in clotheslining Kevin Owens, flipping him upside down. What the heck? One thing about Rhea Ripley, he's better watch her very closely, man, because I'll tell you what, she's not afraid to step in the ring with any guy. I mean, she was staring down Solo Sikoa. I'm like, that woman's crazy. I mean, she did body slam Luke Gallows, who was like 300 pounds, but about 300 pounds. And I know Kevin Owens may be a little bit close to it, or a little bit, but I know Solo Sikoa is right up there in the 300-pound mark. And that's crazy to say the least, and just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. So, yeah, right now, Matt Riddle's in trouble and after a chokeslam on the apron by Mr. Damian Priest. So, this is going to be interesting to say the least to see what happens. And somebody needs to keep an eye on Rhea Ripley, man. That's all I'm going to say. Alrighty then. Now, we're going to get the conclusion of this matchup. And, once again, we'll find out what happens after the match. So, we're about 9 minutes away. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this video tomorrow. That means, so by the time I'm going to put this video together, and by the time tomorrow comes, it will be uploaded already. So it will be uploaded. So we'll get the conclusion of this matchup, and I will see you guys afterwards. Well, what the conclusion of the match was, Riddle, Zayn, and Owens did defeat the Judgment Day, but then the Usos and Sikoa decided to come out and started battling them, and then the LWO gets involved. They started fighting the Usos and Sikoa, and Judgment Day gets back involved. Everybody, all the factions were brawling. They were going crazy, and in fact, it was like a 4-team brawl we're having here. It was the most insane thing ever. It was just so great. So, that concludes episode 510 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, not only that, it will, that's where it ends right here. Monday Night Raw Event Center for April the 17th, 2023. So, tomorrow night, NXT it's the road to spring breaking does continue on. Gonna be very interesting to see what things happen in between. So the 14th. So we'll be talking about that. What's going on with tomorrow? Trebek Tuesday. What's going on? Trebek Tuesday and everything else. Like I said, I'm gonna edit this video tonight, but then I'm gonna upload it tomorrow. So, so that's where we're at right now. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode. Until that next episode uploads, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with A Sweet Bowl for Raving Dingleberries Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another great episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Until the next episode, goodbye for now.